Dante is asleep. We let me. We are live. Stop, everyone. This is Vitamin G Podcast, episode 149. I'm your host, because Dante is asleep. Uh, we're gonna have a great show. Still waiting on Zero. Coffee can make it. So, do I sound clear? Because I'm using my phone. Okay. Um, let's introduce our panel members. We start with you, Jube. What you been playing? You're one of those. Um, Zero. Did you put out a tweet that we live? I mean, Pharaoh. Did you put out a tweet that we? Oh, Jube, you can do that because we got no one. Um, other than Lego. Okay, enjoy it because I enjoyed it at some point. I was mad, my rant. I highly recommend you. Um, don't explore. Huh? What did you say? Oh, se- oh, give me the, give me a. No, I think it's me. My PlayStation is on. Give me a second. Maybe my PlayStation mic is here. I muted it. Is it still feedback? Okay. Okay. So give me then a sec. Oh, weird. What? No, it's okay. It's okay. So phew, Godfall. Yeah. Good luck with that one. I like the game, but I'm not a fan of online shit. And yeah, I like the I was hyped for it. I was hyped for it, but my friend didn't buy a PlayStation 5, so I couldn't play it with them. And I was supposed to also play with a different person, so three-person total. But both of them didn't show up, so I was the only one. And I'm not gonna buy a game for just me playing solo. I already did that with Destiny, and I know how that turned out. But I end up playing Godfall, and I was enjoying it until a certain moment when I literally lost progress because of an issue with the game. They soft locked me, and I couldn't. If I had to do two things. Either I replay everything that I just did with basically 2 hours of gameplay, or I quit the game, and I quit the game. I'm not gonna wait 2 more hours to play that game. Other than that, Pharaoh, what have you been playing? Gotcha. As for me, I finished Tiny Tina Wonderlands. Oh boy. Yeah, Jube, how far are you in Tiny Tina? Yeah, I felt so. So I'm not gonna I'm not gonna spoil anything. Just give you a heads up. Boss is not memorable whatsoever. The only memorable bosses are two: mid-game boss and end-game boss. And most bosses have only one face, so which is again negates the enjoyment of the game. Best weapons are, how should I say this, non-existent. It's like even legendaries don't feel that they don't have that It's like they downgraded it from 3 to now Tiny Tina. Um, yeah, but even if it's a spin-off, it feels like a DLC though. No, it's $80 with everything in between with collector edition. Nah, this game is a full-blown game. $60. That's why I'm rating about it. If it was 40, okay, per point. Nah, I paid 80, I think, because I bought it everything. We call it the fuck. Well, my friends are black, so they use the N word. So I don't. I say fuck Giga edition because yeah, I can't say the N word, so I'm not gonna say it. So I bought the fuck Giga edition, in which include everything, including what's called season pass. But other than that, oh wait. Um, uh, uh, Amados, can you hear uh, the rest of the people, or you can only hear me? 1 second. Apparently, people can only hear me. Yeah, I need to see if that needs to be fixed or not. Oh, you're the editor. You can only hear me. Why though? You are. This is talk a little bit. Oh, maybe it's because. Oh wait. Maybe because I'm on laptop. Give me a second. Maybe because I'm on phone. Give me 1 second. Um, try again. Try now talking, so we can
Can you hear
see.
me?
Can you
Hello.
guys now hear Jube?
I can hear you now, Jube.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so the audio is now working.
Yep, it's
Okay, so
working.
Alright,
I'm
new
gonna.
intro. Kick it.
Okay, so
Also, I just noticed we have 69 subscribers. Nice.
so we're
Eh.
gonna start all over again. Jube, what you been playing?
I've been playing Lego Star Wars with the kiddo, and I got Godfall because I could get it for cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Gotcha.
I'll have
J-
I'll have some more
Jube,
thoughts on that.
walk me
What's
through
up?
something. Lego
What's
Star
up?
Wars. It's the complete
Yes.
edition, right?
Yep, sure
Is this
is.
just a re-release of an older complete edition?
I mean, you had like the Star Wars The Complete Saga, but the Complete Saga was not voice acted. This is voice acted.
Oh, okay. That's because
You see
I
what I'm
was
saying?
scrolling through
There
PS
is
Now. And I was like, wait,
there
the complete
there is
saga
a
for PS3.
Yeah, there is a difference. The Complete Saga came out on 360 and PS3.
Okay,
This
all
is
right.
not that. Like we got fully voiced cutscenes and things like that. If you actually played the Complete Saga, like it's a lot of silence and like
Pantomime.
what's the word?
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
sort of the old
pantomime.
Lego
So
games. Yeah.
exactly.
Uh, okay.
This is I mean, it's still the same story, you know what I'm saying, but there are some comedic elements to it that are, deviate off the path there a little bit. But
Oh, I heard it's
I, I-
very
I'm
funny.
I'm having a ball. Like, yeah, it's fucking
Yeah.
hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
All right.
So, Sarah, what you been playing?
I played a little bit of Astroneer. I played Mega Man. Played Gang Beasts, Scarlet Nexus, Madden. I think that's about it. I may have missed
Gotcha.
something.
And Zero, what you been playing?
Um, as usual, Elden Ring. However, I figured I need to step away from it a little bit, so I started playing Valkyria Chronicles Remastered.
Nice.
Oh, I
Um,
definitely have that. I need to play it myself after finishing Time. I already finished Time. After Ghostwire Tokyo, Valkyrie Chronicles is my next game. How is it?
I gotta say, I really like it so far. It's a well done tactical game. Uh, I love sort of the storybook aspect of it. Like the whole design is like it's like a book, or kind of painted, so everything looks a little painted. I wonder if that's I don't remember what it looks like from. I guess this was a PS3 game as well.
I think
Um,
uh,
because I think it was 2008 when this
either
came out.
PS3 or PS4 game. I bought it on my PS4.
Yeah,
Yeah,
One
it's
thing for
older.
sure, it's what's called. It's not easy. Character can die for real. Permanent death.
yeah.
So you gotta be
And
careful
so
with that.
I'm only on like chapter 4. So what's interesting is it's a lot of things to think about
Hmm.
because I lead an army, so I have an army of about 20 or so people, and each of them have their own little individual quirks. Like some don't like to be around men, some don't like to be around women, some don't like to be in the city, some are better at night. So some like to hang with just a specific group of people. Um, so it's interesting. Although now that it's bringing, I'm thinking about it more. Like it's also fully voice acted. Like every little soldier says something.
Yeah,
But
gotcha.
it's a good time.
What
What
other
game is
game you
this?
playing? Sorry, Pharaoh, what do you want to
Uh,
say?
I missed the name of the
Val-
game.
Valkyria Chronicles.
Okay.
Yeah, I will give you the name later, Pharaoh. I got it myself, and I
I know
recommend
the
it.
game. I just didn't know. I just didn't hear what he was playing.
Mm. What else you playing? Zero.
That- excuse me. That's it. Other than Elden Ring.
Gotcha. As for me, I finished Argentina. Um, seven, 7 out of 10 maximum. This game
I'll agree with that.
sorry,
I said I will agree with that 100%.
you might even have it lowered because remember that issues that the game lagged with, they are all there. I'm still getting disconnected. I still have moments where the game is lagging, despite the fact I'm playing offline. Um, Guns are not memorable whatsoever. Legendaries are absolutely not memorable. Boss fight absolutely not memorable. Uh, the only two boss fight, great boss fight, are the mid game boss fight and the end game boss fight, and that's about it. They have a new something called Darkness Chamber or something like that. That's not it. I would rather play Water Hunter mode and get better loot and have difficulty option raised by that, then do the Dark Chamber. You know how you meet enemies on the road and you fight them almost like a JRPG style? How you're in a closed room? That's basically what they send you to do for almost 10, 15 rooms. Like, that's not fun. You can get upgrade, you need to manage your stuff and stuff like that. It got boring very, very fast. I hope the DLC is better. Amadeus, spells are fun if they were strong. Most of the time, spells that are strong are one note only. For example, I got a spell that gives send out a meteor and that meteor breaks into 4 or 5 meteors. This spell I used for almost 20 levels. Never changed it because why would I change it when I can literally eviscerate everything in my path? Even the unique spells, like for example, there is a spell that uh, you throw a cube out of your at your enemy, and it bounces to
Hmm.
other enemies. And then if you shoot at the cube, it got like almost like a ticking bomb, time bomb. That's unique, but the damage is miserable. The same with the shotgun. Imagine shotgun that does that shoots a light of arrows from top
Oh
of
no! Oh
the.
yeah, no, the shotgun's garbage. It's garbage
It's
for sure.
fucking weak.
Yeah, it's not a shotgun. That
When
is a pea shooter. It's
it's
bad.
it's like where are the shotgun the level of what's called Borderlands 3? You know the shotgun that from two that shoots
Yes.
multiple. I forgot what's called. Like that game breaking, and it should be. You took your time and loot and fun. Oh yeah, boss farming. I don't recommend it whatsoever. I have no idea which boss drop which loot. And
Mm.
most of the legendaries are absolutely not it. And it's such a shame that this is where Borderlands is now at. They went from the two, three that was amazing. Aside from the characters, three was amazing. Aside from the villain, um, and especially the gameplay of three, the guns of three, they elevated it, and then you get us to where we are with Tiny Tina. It it's such a shame. You know what? It feels such a DLC. And you know what? I would even go out on the limb of say that the Borderlands 2 Tiny Tina DLC is better than this one.
Yeah, I,
I would
I'll I'll agree.
absolutely go out on a limb and say that there is more creativity in that game than in a fucking DLC than in this entire full game. And it's a shame. It genuinely is. And I hope with Borderlands 4 they go back to the basic because this is not it. And I I want to give them a benefit of the doubt because apparently this is created during COVID, but I don't. It's like I don't know what to say. It's yeah, a quick rant. Other than that, I'm playing Ghostwire Tokyo again. Loving that game. Loving that game. My biggest Zero. You played Ghostwire, right?
Bits and pieces. I've
Oh,
not
bit
run
piece.
through like the whole game
Okay.
completely.
Okay,
Just
gotcha. So the
bits and pieces.
biggest issue for me is they give you a skill that allows you to summon something that you can teleport, not teleport, almost like grapple yourself up to. But the problem is it's so inconsistent with where you can place the summon. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work, and it's irritating like a motherfucker. Especially after you literally need to spend 6 jewels that are not expensive but time consuming to find, and also 40 skill points just to get that skill. This thing alone breaks almost half the game because instead of relying of normal grapple hook, you got yourself your own grapple hook, but it doesn't work 80% of the time, and it's such a shame. I really hope they would patch that. Other than that, no, I'm loving that game, and I can't wait to get back to it. And the final thing is me and Zero with and a friend of mine called Weeb. we started a new podcast, specifically talking about One Piece chapter reviews and discussion, but we also gonna
Hmm.
venture out to other anime when there is break in One Piece. Well, basically next week. Well, this week and probably next week, we're gonna talk about different anime or give us our expectation for what's gonna happen with One Piece. But yeah, no, with our intros out of the way, first topic is gonna be remasters. Are they cursed? So I brought up off air. I brought up so Square Enix released Chrono Cross remaster, and this game, the original one, is is doing 30 FPS, I think. The
Yep.
PlayStation 5 version is doing 20 FPS, sometimes even 10 FPS.
Yep. And that's
It,
why I didn't
it's
buy
like there is no fuck given. There is no respect to us the gamers. There is uh, literally the definition of cash grab. And it's such a shame though because they fixed something and I'm gonna give them props to that. In the game there is a little girl aged 9 years old and she is playable, and in the original game her panty was visible. In this game they fixed that. They didn't allow it to be shown. Great. Nice. At least they did something right. But other than that, what, they added a speed up button? Like this game is $20, but even then I feel I'm being cheated out of my money. $20 or
it.
not.
Oh, this game's only $20.
Yeah, it's only $20, but there is absolutely zero passion into it. It's just a lazy port at best. So I brought up
I mean,
this. I brought up Zero. You're on Twitter. Not Twitter. You're on Switch. I'm pretty sure you heard the debacle that is Devil May Cry remake remaster on Switch.
no, I actually didn't. I forgot Devil May Cry was on.
Oh yeah, no, that shit was horrible on Switch. So there is
Switch.
Devil May Cry remaster on Switch is horrible. There is Dark Souls remaster was horrible. Um, there is Mothership Collection remaster was not uh,
Master Chief Collection
was bad, right? On
Master Chief was
PC.
fine.
At launch, no, it was the net.
It,
It was like
no, Master Chief was yeah. You
it
just
was
Was
couldn't
it was
bad,
play.
network
right?
issues. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
multiplayer based issues, but like the
Yeah,
actual single player and like all that shit was fine for the most part.
So you can also include that.
yeah, it was
Uh,
solid.
so it seems to be remastered seems to be cursed, or they just simply don't
Mhm.
care about it.
It's because it's a cash grab, bro. There's no need to
I'll say
remaster it. They're just trying to get some
Master
Okay.
money.
Chief Collection wasn't really a full
Oh,
remaster. It was
oh,
kind of a re-release.
It was just a port. It was literally just a port. And like some games, like Halo 2, got really nice, upgrades. Like there's parts in Halo 2 in there, like the anniversary that came out,
But it wasn't. But I'm saying it wasn't
with like
released
the
as
next
like a
gen version.
remaster.
It wasn't.
Like Gears of War, like Ultimate Edition was kind of like a. It was like a full remake of the game. It wasn't something like that. It was like just like,
No, but I mean,
hey,
but
we're
even with Halo 2 anniversary, like it's a different game. Like even like the cutscenes and everything, like it's
yeah.
different. But yeah, it's remasters are weird. Like you don't necessarily
Remasters are
No,
need them.
weird
Like
because there's
it's
no
I
nice.
like
admit
the
that.
rules have changed. It's not like
Hmm.
it's not like a
They don't.
standardized thing
Yeah,
across
they
the
don't.
industry of what a
I
remaster
I
is.
remembered a game called Warcraft. That remaster was dog shit. So it genuinely seems to be
I
remasters.
mean,
They don't give a fuck about them. Can
it's
anyone
I don't
name?
Well,
think it's I don't think it's that they don't necessarily give a fuck about it. It's
They
like
clearly don't. Oh, there's also the GTA remaster, and that's a dog shit. So am I
Yeah,
missing?
well, they handed that off to a third party company. Yeah, that was bad. But a lot of times when they say when they say like quote unquote remaster, they really mean like re-release. Like they're like just re-releasing it and letting you play it in the original state that it was in, and your memory of the game just isn't the same as what you're used to playing 20 years later.
No,
Part
like
of that
some
is the
games,
issue as well.
like some games do get a nice release. Like for example, Okami released well. They did a remaster
Yeah,
of it.
some games hold up well, but a lot of games, if you went back and open your PlayStation original, and you popped them games in, those games would not suit your memories. They wouldn't be the same because they really weren't playing all that great as what our memory
Yeah,
of what we remember them. Yeah, it's just
like
not.
like
So a lot.
as an adult, like I didn't realize like GoldenEye was like a shit show performance in a lot of levels. Like I didn't
Yeah,
realize that
GoldenEye
as a
kind
kid.
of was really
Yeah.
bad.
So
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of times, like these remasters are more like re-releases. They're just releasing it to you in the state that it was in. They're not actually like we're gonna make this perform how a game should perform in 2022.
But
We're
that's
just
not.
but
we're
I
gonna re-release
But
it, and the
that's
people
not what I'm
who
asking for. I'm not just asking for it to be optimized properly. Like when a PlayStation 5 losing 10 to 20 frames, we have issues.
I mean,
When
but there are some good ones out there.
name
Like
me.
Call of Duty might be one of Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, the Resident Evil remaster, the very first one. The Last of Us had a remastered.
there's a, the difference between those games and a game like Chrono Cross is that when they re-release Modern Warfare 2, they're expecting to reach a new audience. Chrono Cross is not expected to reach a new audience. It's expected to capture the original audience and get a couple more dollars out of them.
Remember the
All right, what
fucking.
about uh Crash? Because the Insane trilogy was pretty solid too, right?
That's a remake.
Yeah, but they still make new crashes. They're still trying
That's a
to
remake.
engage new
That's
people
not a
with Crash.
remaster. That's a remake. Full blown
Like a new
remake.
Crash just came out last year, right?
yeah, Crash
The
4,
ins- uh,
something like
Yeah.
that.
oh, Crash 4 did just come out next year. So.
Yeah, Crash 4 just came out last year. They're still making new crashes. So like there's incentive when you do a remaster to actually
Wait,
remaster it.
isn't
Like
Crash
sometimes like
a remake and not a remaster?
No, I thought it was just a remastered versions of 1, 2, and 3.
No, I think it's a remake. Wait, I'm pretty sure it's a remake because they did everything from the ground up. Let me look it up very fast.
like like for instance,
Or
Chrono
like
Cross
Wind
is more of
Waker
like
HD. I think you're right. Go ahead, Farrell, because I think I do agree with
Oh,
you
it
on
is
that
a
point.
remaster. Gotcha. You're right.
I was gonna like give an example like from the Eyes of Square because it's two stark differences. If you look at Chrono Cross and how that released, it's just a re-release. Whereas with Final Fantasy IX, they're doing a complete remake and they're making a TV show out of it because they're trying to engage and capture a new audience with that game. Chrono Cross is just like it's just there's no big press release, there's no big event for it, there's no nothing. It's just like, hey, this game's coming out, and then the
Yeah.
people who are Chrono Cross fans are gonna go buy it.
I was saying truthfully because very little people were asking for Chrono Cross. And they've been wanting for forever is Trigger, and they were like, well, here's what they pulled the most Nintendo move ever. Is like, here's what we'll give you, and like take it, and like we're not gonna put any real effort into it. But and as I tend to fall back on, like, where else are you gonna play Chrono Cross at? You gonna hook
And
up your old? I mean, I guess you can emulate it, but like, if
yeah,
you don't want to go through all of that, you gonna hook up your old PlayStation? Probably not.
and
So like,
another
play,
thing that PlayStation fans need to consider when you're purchasing that highest tier of this new PlayStation Plus package is those original PlayStation games are gonna play like Chrono Cross. They're not all them games aren't getting optimized to
How do
play on
you
the
hold up?
PS5
How do you know that?
because you
I
are
think based on what they're already
yeah
offering, I don't think
yeah
like I've played some of the PS2 game. Me and Dante bring it up every time. The God of War is the horrible sound broken one. and like
Yeah,
it sounds
they're
like
not optimizing those games.
yeah,
That
it sounds like
because
speakers are
one,
blown
none
out.
of those games are owned by Sony. Like
Yeah, why
Sony
would
did
you
not
spend the
make the
money to
games
do it?
that made PlayStation great. They didn't own any of those games. Like, so you think Square is gonna go back and fix Brave Fencer Musashi when it shows up, or you think
Ah,
Battle Arena Toshinden is gonna get a rematch? Like, there's a lot of great games. Those games is not getting. You think the original Twisted Metal is going to get remastered to be on
no,
a subscription service? No, it's
no.
not. It's just
Yeah.
not gonna happen.
I mean, even Xbox said we're gonna give you a select few. We're not doing everything, dog. Like we're not. I mean, because who has the time and the effort to do all of that? To remaster a bunch of games from the
That
'90s
aren't for sale. It's a
that aren't for
difference.
sale. Yeah,
Xbox remastered games and put them out for sale. These games aren't coming back out for sale. They're just being put into a streaming service.
yeah. Like I,
That's
you brought up, I fully expect to see Brave Fencer Musashi, but I fully expect it to be pretty much exactly the way it was when I played it almost 20 years ago.
yeah.
Which is
So I
fine
mean,
for me, but
but I'm just saying,
yeah,
have realistic expectations.
yes. Words of
That's
the
all I'm saying.
wise. Yeah, before you buy, just know these they're PlayStation One games. That's just what they're gonna be. So I mean, I think it's mostly. I mean, it's not mostly, but like Square is notoriously bad for their remasters, right?
Yeah, bro. The
Unless they
Chrono,
can make money. If they can make that money,
no, the Chrono Trigger re-release that came out on PC, it was hot
That's right. Was
garbage.
yeah, that
It
one was
was
bad
fucking
too.
terrible. What
and
are
they
y'all
still
doing?
charge that premium price.
Yeah, they did. I really wanted to buy it. I actually I just rebought it on the 3DS at that point because I'm like, fuck you guys. Like, I will literally play this shit on a little ass handheld before I give y'all money for this on PC. It's fucking garbage. The DS port was fine though, no issues.
So,
Thanks
are we
Nintendo.
expecting an apology tweet from them?
No,
No,
they never apologized for any of the old ones.
I expect a patch in 2 to 3 months. They'll take their time. You'll get it when you get it.
And I guess I guess not completely throw Square under the bus. The Legend of Mana remaster was fire.
It just
Yeah,
depends.
Like it's so good. And so
It depends, man.
yeah, I don't know where they decide to like put to focus on. I feel like Chrono Cross would be far more beloved than Legend of Mana, but maybe I'm wrong. But
Well, it's not about how it appeals to us sometimes. Sometimes it's how it appeals to them.
also true. And it's people
What
who
do you mean with that?
Japanese companies cater products to their Japanese citizens, and then we get the byproduct of that a lot of times.
yep. Good, bad, or indifferent, even if it's not something that we necessarily wanted. That's why we like. There's always that. Oh, Japanese games are weird stigma that sticks around
yeah,
just because
Yeah,
cultural differences.
or look at Smash, where like Fire Emblem massively popular over in Japan. It's why a big portion of that cast is made up of Fire Emblem characters.
Yep, it is,
Like
and I mean, I don't mind it. Like I fucks with Fire Emblem. I fucked with Tactics Ogre. Like I was playing all that shit.
yeah,
I want Advance Wars because I like games like that. So,
please
but
eat Advance Wars.
that shit needs to drop.
yeah.
Oh,
You just got to understand like kind of how these companies work and like what motivates them. In their decisions when it comes to things like this.
True.
and sometimes I like because I bought it. Have the Tony Hawk remaster was probably one of the best remasters I've ever played. Like
Yes.
it captured 1,000% exactly the feelings of playing Tony Hawk back in those days. It
Man,
seemed like
if
it was made with love and care. The
I
music
couldn't pop
tracks are
that game in
back.
again. If I pop
Um,
that game in again, I might never get anything done. It's like it's somehow addicting. Like you just start doing tricks and you just don't stop.
and part of it is like it still has some of the flaws of like I'm sure the skateboard technology has just gotten better over the years. So like there's still some of the flaws that Tony Hawk had in it, but like as far as recreating what this thing used to be, like it's almost one for
And
one.
And the creative character mode was so good for its time.
Yeah, it really was.
Facts.
And part of this made me feel, because I don't know who's responsible for this, but like this felt like a passion project.
Yeah.
Like this felt like people who wanted to just like, I want to remake this game again.
I want to
I guess
play it.
similar to like Shaq Fu, but I don't know whatever happened to Shaq Fu.
Yes, there was a bunch of guys who said, "I really want to play this again."
Mm. And we've not had a good one in years.
Yeah, so I played Shredders, by the way. That game's a little bit more
It's technical.
challenging than I thought.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a little
it's
more
technical
challenging than
for
I
sure.
thought. Like it's not a casual game. I thought it'd be a little more casual, or like it'd have a casual mode if it really wants to capture its audience.
It's
Um,
a real snowboarding game essentially.
yeah, like you really like you got to get the timing down and everything because you going down that hill fast as shit, and they want you to hit them flags.
That's so interesting. But I mean, I guess there's a market for it. Like
And then
people like
like
to snowboard.
yeah, and then the moves are very nuanced too. Like you gotta shift the weight properly in order to get your spins right. Like I won't say it's like a hard game, but it's definitely a skill based game. It's not.
It's
It's
a
not.
I think of it just how I with Madden or 2K or any other or WWE now. It's like if you don't actually kind of know the activity, you're probably gonna have a hard time. You can learn it, but
Yeah, it's
like
definitely skill based.
that the F1 game. I think that came out in 2020.
Yeah,
It's on PS Now, so I was trying to play it, but they legitimately ask you very real things about a F1 race car, and I was like, I have no clue of what any of this terminology means. It's like
yeah.
I was trying my best. I might try to jump back into it, but it it feels more technical than Gran Turismo.
It
And I
probably
know
is.
and I know that's the simulator, but like it starts off like what type of computer chip are you putting in this thing? I'm used to stuff like tires and
I
uh,
was
you know,
just I was just listening to someone in the sim community, and they were saying that the sim enthusiasts kind of see Gran Turismo as like an arcade sim.
makes sense.
So like there's like the real hardcore sim people, they go to PC for some game. I'm not exactly sure what the actual name is, but yeah, like Gran Turismo isn't like it for that car enthusiast group. It's more of a casual game.
That would make sense.
Okay, then anyone have anything else to add to the topic? Nope. Then we move on to the next topic, which not PlayStation, Sony investing $100 billion in Epic.
1 billion, not 100 billion.
Sorry, 1 billion. Sorry,
I was
thank
about to
you.
say, Jesus, Sony.
Yeah, that's
Bankruptcy alert.
so basically, they have almost now 5% share in Epic.
Yes, 5% share. They invested them and Lego invested $1 billion with Epic towards the building of a metaverse.
So it makes you question: are we gonna see is a game like some work on time exclusive?
No, this has nothing to do with PlayStation. This has everything to do with the metaverse. So this billion dollars did nothing for the PlayStation side of the house.
So this is just Sony, not PlayStation.
Um, I mean, it's part of gaming, so I guess you could kind of say like PS Studios. But it's probably more towards integrating games that you already play into the metaverse.
Gotcha. Yeah. I
Ugh,
genuinely
sounds
don't.
obnoxious.
Genuinely, Retalk don't care about this one. It's I'm
Well, I mean, you should care about it. I mean, because everyone's talking about they want Ready Player One, and that's what the metaverse is working towards building. It's the foundational piece towards that dot hack Ready Player One type world, but it's not going to impact console gaming at this point in time. I
No one
mean, so I
ever.
wouldn't say I
That's
wouldn't say it's something that you
literally
shouldn't care about, but something to keep
that's
an eye on.
literally years out from now. I don't see that.
I don't think it's as far away as you think. I think it's about 5 years away before you get this Lego metaverse cranking.
Hmm.
I don't know.
So
I'm not
yeah,
sold on the metaverse just yet. Like, if nothing else, is because every time like Ready Player One or Dot Hack or Sword Art Online, what's the first? Immediately things go wrong. Like for Ready Player One, like they were kind of poor. Everyone escaped to that world to like get away from their very terrible real lives. In Sword Art, they release this new game. Immediately, a serial killer takes it over and traps people in the game. Like, I don't know how this is going to work out well for us in any like iteration, and I'm just not sure people. I don't know if we'll ever be there. Maybe we will, but like even VR seems to have like a very reluctant group of people utilizing it. Cool for gimmicks, but like on a regular thing, I don't know.
so Jube, anything you want to add to this one? Yeah.
Um,
So
not really.
Yeah,
yeah. So
the thing with the metaverse is that it's not defined yet. So I mean, we gotta wait and
so
see
this
what
is just
they don't even really know what it's gonna be yet.
so
It's
this
a
is
bunch
just
of
a
companies trying to mold it.
so this is just a future investment and see where it goes.
Yep, that's all it is.
Gotcha.
It's either gonna crash and burn or it's gonna be the greatest thing ever.
Exactly. They're getting their feet wet and you know having early investment into it, and on the off chance it takes off. Like
And the last
what they've devoted to it is like it's a drop in the bucket. So
and there are
if you can prop it off of
okay.
that, why not?
Gotcha. The next topic is so I know it didn't happen, but the way the studio is, I have the feeling they are gonna buy it, which is Deviation Games. They put out a few screenshots of their studio, and there is literally a dual sense what's called uh, on the wall. So, which prompts people, including myself, to ask: did PlayStation buy them, or are they on the verge of buying them? I would not be surprised if that's the case. And for people's question, the way it uh, decorated, it literally feels like this is PlayStation Studio. I'm gonna start with you, Jube. What do you think?
I saw the pictures, and I would have to agree. It's like they were. It appears like from jump they were like kind of propped up as like a satellite for PlayStation games. Like there's a lot of PlayStation everything all over the place. So
Yeah.
if they're not
Uh,
outright bought, but if they're not outright bought, but it comes to like Sony like pretty much funded the whole thing, and
yeah. This and
their parent.
this studio and the one that they just recently bought, Fight Pride, not Fight Pride, the one that Jade Raymond started.
That the Haven
Yeah,
studio,
the
yeah.
Haven Studio. Both of
Hmm.
them are all co-founded by PlayStation uh,
Right.
before they even launched. So
So I
these
mean,
studios are from the ground up,
right,
funded by PlayStation.
and that's cool because I mean, if you think about it from like a business standpoint, it kind of also gives you a chance to kind of control the price that you're going to have to pay to fully acquire them. So
Hmm.
I mean, it's smart business. Like I get it, and I could kind of see how that might be their way of doing acquisitions going forward.
Have they
Is
made anything?
I haven't.
Ah, so just buying sort of
Um,
new folks.
Zero. What do you think?
I mean, I guess it's pretty similar to Haven, right? Out minus the Jade Raymond of it all. I don't know what they do. Like, I'm happy to just be looking on their website, and it's
So
like it's
They
cool.
they
they
are the
they come from
original
Call of
creators.
Duty.
Yeah, original creators for Call of Duty.
Like the first Call of Duties, or like
Jube?
the very first Call of Duties, like Call of Duty.
Yeah, the first Call of Duties weren't all that, but I mean,
That's right. I'm sure. That's what I was asking. Like Modern Warfare, Call of Duty, or like just
Yeah,
Call of
Call of
Duty.
Duty ain't kick off till Modern Warfare.
Mm-mm. Well, I mean, okay, but still, look at all these
Was
white
it
people.
Modern Warfare? The first Call of Duty I remember is the one where they did the Hawaii bombing, World War II.
Well, to be fair, they were in
D-Day.
World War II for a very long time.
But I'm saying the one that I remember taking off is the one that had it's not D-Day. I forgot what day it's called.
I think it
But
might be. I know. Call of Duty 2 and 3 are like
yeah, I think Call of Duty
like
3 was
that.
the big one.
Okay.
So, are you excited
So
about
like, I think
NXT?
it's cool. Yeah, I think it's cool. I just don't. I guess I'll have to wait and see. Well, if they're Call of Duty people, maybe this is their first person shooter studio.
Yeah, this is definitely a first-person game. I don't know if it's going to be live service. I feel it's gonna be live service. Yeah.
Most if it's competitive or it has sort of a competitive
Right.
bent to it, most of them are going to be
With
live
with
service.
everything
Oh,
going free to play, they're gonna need some games to justify the PS Plus expense at some point.
that too.
So
But it's like this is like X Treyarch Respawn Arcane. Like, yeah, this is about to be a.
It's got to be some type of first person. I got
It's got to
what
be.
it will be. I don't know, and hopefully something good. I probably would prefer something other than some military shooter.
Me too.
I'm sure that's probably what we're going to wind up getting.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, they're Call of Duty people. What do you? Yeah.
I
I mean, because
mean,
even like Resistance, even though it's aliens, is still a bit of a military shooter. And
It's
Killzone
still
was
unique
just
because of the
uh,
aliens aspect of it.
yeah, but like Perfect Dark had aliens too, but that's sort of not a military shooter. It's an
Cause
older game, but like
that's more stealthy, right?
a what?
Is it what is Perfect Dark? A stealth game or FPS?
Oh, it's an FPS.
you
Gotcha. I
need some
never
It's
played
actually
that
it's
one.
cultural
pretty similar to
appropriation.
Resistance. Yeah, it's pretty similar to Resistance.
We need some cultural appropriation. We need some hood shooters.
So why
Oh
doesn't
my lord.
so why isn't Perfect Dark an military shooter?
Well, I mean, one, she's not in the military. Like,
Okay,
she's a
gotcha,
spy. Like
gotcha.
Resistance, like is literally like the war of like I wouldn't call Destiny a military shooter because they're not military people. They're like weird undead ghost people. Like it's nothing wrong with it. Like again, Killzone is cool. And I like Resistance as well. But like Resistance just felt like a World War II game, just slapped aliens on it instead. Um,
Gotcha.
it, as always, it could be something cooler. Doom. Doom is the ultimate FPS that's not a military shooter, even though he is a military dude for the most part.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah. So there is that. Um, Kingdom Hearts 4 is announced. Who is excited for this one? Because they
Me,
seem to be going
me,
a realistic way with this one.
me.
And
Chube, your children will be grown adults by the time this game
I
comes out.
oh
know,
yeah,
You
bruh.
you gonna have to
I will
give that
be I'll be eating tapioca pudding in the old folks' home by the time this game comes out. I will forget my children and grandchildren's names. Like, I already know.
but you will be playing it, so there is that. Yeah. So from what I've seen, it looked interesting. I never played the DLC. I still need to buy it, but I'm not gonna pay $30 for it. €30 for it right now. It's not worth that much. Anyone here played the DLC?
I've not even played 3.
Oh, Jube,
Nope.
are you gonna play the DLC?
Yeah, when it's cheaper. I'm in your boat.
I heard it got some nice hard boss fight, really hard boss fight on the level of what's his name, Sephiroth.
Hmm.
So like,
So so apparently Namora wanted to call this game Virum Rex. Virum Rex.
Yeah. I think they just. I think he just used all the assets from Versus
He
13 that they
just.
didn't want to throw away.
So why the fuck does he not just make 13 verses all over again?
Because I don't know. Maybe
Clearly,
he didn't want to
clearly he
interfere with
want
Final
to.
Fantasy 16. He wants to, but he doesn't want to interfere with Final Fantasy 16. So
If you go, I can't imagine that you go from like I said it on Twitter and people are disagreeing with me. Sora have never looked like this before. This is literally basically Noctis from Final Fantasy 13 verses.
It's
yeah,
puberty.
They're
You're older.
nah, they're
He's
molding
growing
him
up.
into they're molding him into a Noctis. The way that they have Sora never
I mean,
looked like
I
this.
saw the trailer. He doesn't look like Noctis to me. I mean, whatever. Just he looks older.
It doesn't look like Sora either.
He looks jarring. Like I can't imagine that Sora
Well,
in
there is a
like.
graphic. There is a couple generations graphical leap that this character has taken.
It's true.
Also,
I just like if
on top
like
of him being
say
older.
they have the Winnie the Pooh level. I can't imagine his look in that level or
bro, that's been my whole thing since I saw that trailer. I'm just sitting here thinking, how in the fuck are all the Disney properties and shit going to look in this? Final Fantasy won't have that problem,
yeah,
Yeah,
but
Final Fantasy will be fine. Yeah.
about
the
that,
Disney shit, I'm sitting here like, bruh,
about
what are
that,
y'all going to do?
about that. Apparently, this is maybe a spoiler. So, apparently, so take it at your own price. Apparently, a Star Wars universe is
Mm-hmm.
captured in this one.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
that like that.
that would make sense. I mean,
That's
a
like a
lot has
layup.
changed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's easy.
I wouldn't be surprised if Captain America's in it.
I was about to say if
Mm-hmm.
Star
Things have
Wars
changed.
and Marvel will most likely show up in these two worlds. Like,
I would love
And
to. I would love. Can you imagine Spider-Man in it? A te- a team.
I never have understand how
A
Spider Man
team
would.
Spider-Man
up.
wouldn't. I don't think Spider-Man would make it in there.
I think
Why?
Iron
He's
But
Man
he,
would.
Marvel.
well, is Spider-Man a Disney property? It
Yeah,
is a Disney property. Yeah, it
yeah,
is a Disney property. Sony just has the movie rights
Oh, he just has the
currently.
movie rights. You're right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Currently, but it is a Disney property. You can watch all the Spider-Man content in Disney Plus. So yeah.
Yes, you
Yeah.
can. Yeah. So
So
it might depend on if they. Oh no, they do have a new show coming out. Well, and at the time, it might depend on if they have a new show coming out. Like if the new Spider-Man movies come out, they're like, we're not gonna give our competitors any extra money. We'll hold until
Yeah,
our
because
show comes out.
if they put Spider-Man in there and then Spider-Man does better, then it might give Sony more leverage.
Yeah.
or
That's like a
Spider-Man
Disney
could
Sony thing.
Mm.
or PlayStation could say, "Hey, we want Spider-Man to be exclusive." Hey, they can even put what's called Marvel Spider-Man, the PlayStation that Insomniac owns. They can
I
come
mean,
to.
if we
Well,
take it
that's
outside of
Spider-Man.
gaming,
Yeah.
if we keep it outside of gaming, right now Disney is not necessarily happy that Sony has those movie rights. I mean, they're just kind of bearing it because
They
they
have no
have
other
to at the
choice.
moment. Yeah, they have
They
no
have no
other
other choice.
choice. But as soon as that contract is up, Sony not getting that back. They're not
How
getting
do
the
you
movie rights back.
how do you know?
Because Disney wants it.
And
Disney's not
they
happy with the deal.
and
They don't
Sony
like
wants
having
it.
to negotiate. They don't like having to negotiate having Spider-Man in
Did
their
they not?
Avengers movies.
Did they not negotiate a year or two ago?
Yeah, but that's not something that they necessarily wanted to
For
have to
how
do.
long is that negotiation? For how long is that deal? Do we know?
I think it was only it's
I think it's on a movie by movie basis.
actually I
Like
think it's
literally.
done. I thought it was the final three. It was the Homecoming. It was the
Yeah,
home series. Like once that was
yeah.
done, it was like
So we
we
might
don't
see
know what we're
a
gonna do next.
new a negotiation then.
No,
I don't
Sony
think
still
I d-
Sony still owns the rights. Yeah,
yeah
so
I
that
don't see
if he's
Sony
gonna appear,
I don't
Yeah.
see Sony ever releasing that right. Never. I
Which
don't.
it's time. All contracts are timed. It's not. They don't have lifetime.
How long though? Do we know? Because even if
I'd have to look it up, but
No,
it's not a lifetime deal.
but I mean, for the game, they don't need Spider-Man. Like they've got all of the
definitely,
Avengers.
Because they don't,
yeah,
in
no,
order to have a
yeah,
lifetime license, you have to actually own the character outright, and they don't own the character
And
outright.
even that, because they've been pushing for Disney to lose their uh to go into like lose their copyright for a very long time.
with PlayStation now literally starting to create their own Marvelverse on PlayStation, I think PlayStation are gonna be holding on to Spider-Man even more than before. Like
Well,
because of Spider-Man, now we're getting a Wolverine
Disney
game,
goes to the highest bidder.
but
and
I would
then
say one that, but that doesn't that has nothing to do with how Kingdom Hearts is operating because Kingdom Hearts isn't based on video game worlds; it's based on movie worlds. So it won't
oh
be
yeah, but
Insomniac Spider-Man; it will be Marvel
oh,
Studios
wow,
Spider-Man.
oh,
So that's Andrew.
fair
I mean, not
point.
Andrew. Yeah, or it could be any of the three that we've just seen fairly recently.
Oh,
But
and by
again,
the
that's
Right.
why I don't need Spider-Man. I've got Iron Man. I've got Captain America. I've got the Hulk. I've got everybody who showed up in the other Avengers game, but I could actually use the real likenesses of people who know them from the movie. Now, of
gotcha.
course, this game probably won't come out for another 20 years, so Robert Downey Jr. probably will be dead by that time, and people probably would have forgotten about him. But
All right,
By
so
the way,
they're saying
go ahead.
their Screen Rant is saying that Sony could lose movie rights in June of 2023.
We will see.
yeah,
So
so
that's
Play,
according to Screen Rant.
um, they said that with the previous deal, and they were able to come to agreement.
There was no previous deal. The only thing that was with the previous deal was getting Spider-Man into the Avengers, into the Disney films. They had to negotiate with Sony for that.
No, they
That's
did
totally different.
a year or two ago. They negotiated a new deal. Disney wanted
No,
to.
that new deal was for Disney to make the Homecoming series. They weren't like they were gonna kill making that second Spider-Man movie after
yeah,
Homecoming. They were
because
gonna kill that. That's what that whole deal was about.
he was always on loan. Like
Yeah, they were like he was loaned out to Disney
I
because they owned the movie rights at the time.
if PlayStation
Totally
if
different.
Sony loses the Spider-Man, then they lose the leverage when it comes to PlayStation Spider-Man.
I don't know if that has
One has
yeah
nothing to do with the other. The movie
yeah
rights have
How?
nothing to do with the video game.
Because of their leverage owning the right, they were able to create the Spider-Man that we're getting now with
That's
PlayStation.
what we believe. That's not
yeah.
necessarily
I think
something that's factual.
I think theoretically that Spider-Man could have always been made because Spider-Man shows up in other games made by other companies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's in Fortnite. I can play as him on Xbox right now. He is.
And
Yeah.
He's
Marvel
legit
Ultimate
there.
Alliance 3 has all of the Marvel characters, which is a Switch exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's in there. Like it's just that like Insomniac Spider-Man obviously will only ever stay with Insomniac.
Mm-hmm.
But like
Like,
all the other versions of Spider-Man or Spider-Men, um I'm sure like, whoever wants to make the game can make the game. It's just Insomniac made one of the best ones. So it's
I
like
mean, I'm
everybody
sure
else.
like the only thing that you could possibly like be like I guess nervous of is that Disney could pull a MLB and say we want all our characters multiplat, but that doesn't appear to be the case with Indiana Jones and a couple other properties. That
Yeah.
doesn't appear to be Disney's MO, so that's not something I would be like, necessarily worried about.
Yeah.
So going back to Kingdom Hearts, apparently Sony, not Square, but Disney owns the right for Sora.
Yeah,
That was
Yeah,
that would
Disney.
make sense. It's if there he would be their character.
that was surprising for me.
What if
Yeah,
you think about it though? Like he is a Disney-fied Final Fantasy character.
he is.
Yeah, like
basically, Square went to Disney with an idea, and Disney made sure they got the better end of the deal. That's all
which
that is.
like at least on not to support Disney because they don't need it, but like if you coming to me saying, "Hey, I got this idea where we get to use all of your properties," like,
All
well,
of
yeah,
your music, your
yeah,
characters.
like yeah, dog, I'm gonna get the better end of the deal here, like because we know how protective Disney is over there, all
Mm-hmm.
of their properties.
That,
Um, I again, I realistic Sora is just gonna feel real weird to me, and like I guess most of the movies that they would be referencing now are Pixar movies.
It depends on how they use
I
the
mean,
camera.
that could be a way.
Camera angles are going to be everything.
We might see
I mean,
Coco in it. We can
Coco would be awesome.
we're gonna
Um,
definitely see the new generation. Oh yeah, the dragon movie. What's called?
Raya would be cool.
Yeah, Raya would definitely be interesting.
Frankly,
To
I would if I were them, I would drop most of the old class. One, please get rid of that Little Mermaid level.
yeah,
But
I
I would
agree.
drop
done.
most of the
It's
classic
done.
stuff. Maybe keep Hercules. I personally think Steamboat Willie is always a great time. Uh, but like all the rest, I mean, like Maleficent always seems to play a big part in that. So I guess like, but you don't go to her world; she's just in it.
But maybe now flesh out the world. If you played 3 was horrible when it comes to the story. Almost, the story is almost like cut in half. I never watched the movie in for Pirates of the Caribbean 2 or something like that, or Dead Man Walking, or whatever, and I didn't understand a single thing about the story. There was no clear cut explanation about the story whatsoever. That,
That's right. That one had pirates and it had Tron, didn't it?
yeah. So, other than that, uh, what's his name? Sora got now a drill, and he got the ability to gravel. And apparently, this one is gonna have a serious tone, which I'm down for that. And again, it goes back to what Namora. He can't let go of 13 verses. He when you okay, if you Jube, you played Kingdom Hearts 3, right?
Yeah, I haven't finished it though.
Okay. Uh, have you seen Viram Rex?
Yes.
Okay. What's based on?
Um, good question.
Hmm?
So that's a good question.
Come on, you know. Or you don't know.
Boy on the spot.
Nope.
Okay. It's based off 13 verses.
Oh, I said that at the beginning. Like, if you just look at that damn trailer, bro, like, it was almost scene for scene with a lot of versus 13 shit they had
Yeah.
dropped.
So
Like I already said, like they're repurposing those assets, and that's why this looks like it does. Like they wasted a lot of money creating a bunch of assets for something that didn't end up coming help.
so so what, so clearly he can't let go of the IP. So why not make a new one? Why not
Mm-mm.
pick it back up and make it? I'm
Because
genuinely
Final Fantasy 16 needs to redeem this franchise from the last couple of games. That's
but
why he
but
can't just.
people have been clamoring for 13 verses.
Oh,
13
but
verses.
nobody fucks with 13. The 3 13 games that we got, nobody gives a shit about.
I was gonna say y'all
Yeah,
keep
they would
saying
have they
13,
would
and I
have to
was like, am
like
I missing something? Didn't those games
Yeah,
suck?
thank you.
Like,
I'm sitting here like, bro, like nobody wants to. The stigma between the number 13 and Final Fantasy exists.
like they have to
It-
wait like another 10 years and then remake 13.
yeah, period. Like they can't. Like nobody gives a fuck about versus 13. Kingdom Hearts hasn't had enough shitty games to harbor the same ill will
And
that people have.
it's crazy. It's crazy cuz Final Fantasy 12 was great.
Right.
And it's just
Yeah,
13 just
12 was
completely
great.
ruined the reputation.
and 13
13,
has so many good ideas and cool characters, just did not execute at all
Nope.
on
13 and
anything.
15 are horrible, and they couldn't let 13 go.
If
Die.
15 was a manager problem, had the whole story actually came out, 15 would have been a lot better. But
15 would have been epic if the entire story had been
Have
fleshed
been
out.
released, yeah.
yep,
It would have
for sure.
rivaled, it probably would have rivaled like
7?
Final Fantasy 8 and 9. I don't think it would have rivaled
Oh
7
yeah. So
because I think if you go back and play it, like the game is just it's a lot to traverse, and like the car ride is like cool, but after a while, like it's like uh you get tired of driving from spot to spot. Like it's a lot of
Yep.
time wasted playing that game.
so
And
That
apparently
was my favorite part, dog. When I was on a road trip with the bros, like that's all I
yeah,
wanted to do in
yeah,
that
that's what I'm saying.
game.
I'm saying like your first time playing through doing that is kind of cool because you get out the car, you fight, you do things like that.
Yeah.
But
But
I mean,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
but
when
like,
I
no, but once you get the flying car, though, it's a wrap. Like, I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, we in
But
there.
like
did
going
you
back and
guys
playing it, I went back and played it, to do like the Royal DLC. It just was like really?
did you
We had to
guys
do this?
did you guys see the Nvidia leak? It's an older leak, but it's it's important for this conversation. Anyone seen the leak?
I've been seeing it pop up about it because Chrono Cross was a part of that,
Uh,
and I guess the assumption is Final Fantasy IX is
Yeah,
the
yeah,
next on the
that's what I
list.
want to go with.
Mm.
Apparently,
but
there's a remake for Final Fantasy IX to be revealed soon.
I mean,
Yeah,
are are are
that's
we
not a secret.
are we excited about that based on what they just did with Chrono Cross?
They already
nah,
announced. No,
No,
I'm
no, no,
not.
this
no,
is a
no, no. Hold
remake.
up, hold up, hold up.
This isn't a remaster.
No, it is a
It's a
Mm,
full
remake.
blown
It's
remake.
a remake,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
for
a
the
full
level
blown
of Final
remake.
Fantasy VII.
They're doing an anime with it too.
what
Oh,
was
they're
the
The
pulling off a Final
question,
Fantasy VII,
the
but with more.
question is it going to be like Final Fantasy VII in the sense of half half action, half turn based, or are they gonna go
I don't
for?
know if it's gonna be episodic like Final Fantasy
No,
VII.
no, 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 no. I'm not talking about. Oh, well, to be fair, nine is also long. Eh? It got two discs.
I mean, it's a long game. It's a
I
long
certainly
game, but I don't think they're gonna commit as many as much capital to that game as
They
they are Final Fantasy. Like,
they clearly wanna remake it and not remaster it, so they clearly hold it on higher
it's
level.
gonna be a good remake, but it's gonna be more of like low tier AAA, more double A ish, if you ask me. In
Right.
terms of like
I
JRPGs, I
don't
don't know if it's
see
gonna have the
that.
full on
Not
voice acting and things like that.
I don't see
I don't
that. Not for Final Fantasy Nine. No, sorry. I absolutely.
I don't see it.
This is this is
Mm-mm.
not Chrono Cross though. This is
No, it's not Roller Cross. They actually are committing to doing a remake, but I think that they're splitting that money up into like we saw with Final Fantasy 15 when they split it up into the TV show and they did this and did that. We saw what kind of product we got. Like I think it's going to be kind of the same thing, but I think it's going to
oh,
be
that's what
better
you mean.
because Final Fantasy 9, the original, was kind of already a complete project.
Hmm.
So I think it's gonna be better in a sense because they're doing it and with a remake as opposed to with a essentially a new IP or
Anyone
sequel.
excited about this one?
I mean, after Stranger of Paradise, which is a remake of an early Final Fantasy game, is it one?
I think it's
I
one
think it's
because it's
one.
chaos, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's one, and I didn't like the implementation on that. So I'm like, okay, do I trust them with
And
Final
another
Fantasy
thing
9, which on
is
its own is a good game, a great game.
I'm expecting a
Um,
different game because this Final Fantasy 9 remake in the TV show is going to be catered towards children,
mhm.
whereas the original Final Fantasy 9 had a lot of adult tones to it in the story. So I'm expecting that to be toned down a bit. I don't think it's going to
Oh
be like a
no.
one for one.
There's a
Yeah.
part of me that thinks 9 makes sense too, because when I saw the reveal for 16, I immediately thought of 9. Like it
Mm.
looks like it jumped, and I think because I had played at the time it was 7 and then 8, which all were sort of these kind of futuristic things, and then 9 came and it jumped way back to here we are in the land of white mages and black mages, and I was like, oh, this is kind of jarring. Where's my guy
Mhm.
with a gun hand or a gun
Right.
sword? And so immediately when I saw 16, I was like, oh yeah, they've jumped back into like I'm sure this game does not have a flying car or a car at all. And
Nope.
so it's like they're jumping back into sort of
Hey,
the
but you can get a flying chocobo, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Which or an airship, which doesn't give you any real time period. It's just like we can also maybe fly. So
Hmm.
like that works. So I think it works, and so like the 9 isn't shocking because like I could probably see that crew fitting real nicely into the world of 16. Especially the more we see of 16, I wouldn't doubt a lot. It will look a lot like 9, or 9 will look a lot like it.
Mm, I can see that. Okay, fair enough.
No.
I mean, I like Final Fantasy 9. I hope if when it comes out it'll be better, but these horrible fucking Square ports and shitty jobs are just killing me.
So
If they
we
devote the same amount of love that they gave to Final Fantasy 7 to 9, it'll be great.
that would be
That's a
amazing.
But
lot
they
of
have to
that's a
do that.
lot of money. Like
It's
it's
a lot of money.
like every NPC in Final Fantasy VII had voice lines. Like every
Yeah,
single one. Like that's insane.
No, to be
Like it
fair, what's called near replicant have that same exact thing. Every single one PC have voice acting.
is the world as dense?
Hmm?
Is it as dense? Like is there as many people like on screen? Is it like a
Mm,
living, breathing like city
mm.
like where you walk through and it's like probably like probably like 1,000 NPCs in fucking Sector 7
Oh
that you can
no,
walk around and interact with.
no,
Like
not that
that's what I'm
level.
saying. Like that's what I'm saying. That's a lot.
yeah. I'm thinking 9 is because 9 is sort of the old form, right? So like we're going from town to town, not massive city to massive city. Even though there is a massive city, but that doesn't come to like midway through in the game.
I
Um.
think I think you touched a massive city early on with Garnett, right?
Oh no, you're right. That's where
And then
we. Yeah, you're right.
you don't ever go back.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's when she joins our team. Her and is it Steiner?
yeah,
Yeah, you're
yeah.
right. You're
She's
right.
our guard. Yeah.
Yeah. Um.
Garnet and not dagger. We call it dagger and move on.
Um. I mean, if they do it, they better bring my card game back. Even though, like, now it just makes me wish they would just do 8 because Triple Triad is one of the
See,
greatest
what
card
they
games of
should
all
do is
time.
they should release the card game like 2 or 3 months earlier, so you can earn money for in the game.
That'd be pretty hype. I'd do
Yeah,
that. I'd be pretty hype. Or, companies always
they
want you
did
to
that with Fable. They
here's your
did that with
special
Fable back in the
pre-order
day.
bonus. Pre-order now and you can get this card game early with all extra content.
Yeah.
So there were two topics, but because Coffee is not here, I'm gonna move them to next week. Okay?
You want
Uh,
to talk about
so the
Guardians? I posted the article.
huh?
I was asking, did y'all want to talk about Guardians? I posted the article.
Which card? Oh, wait a second. Give me a second. So I look it up. Um,
Is it good? Please tell me it's good.
It's good news. They said that you know how they said it failed to meet expectations.
Mm.
Well, apparently it has found its audience thanks to Game Pass.
Oh, that's what's up.
So
I mean,
it's apparently
man,
doing very
they
well
got
now.
the money, so of course.
No, it's not talking about money. It's talking about
Wait,
players
I don't
playing the
see any
game.
article. All I see is
It's right
pictures.
here in the Discord.
Oh, it's in
Oh,
Discord.
in Discord.
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah, it's
used
right here in
to
Discord.
what went them. Discord where?
Yes,
General or
Yeah, this is in the VGP chat.
VGP chat.
VGP chat? Oh, it's in VGP. No, it's not in VGP chat. It's in general. No, it's also not in general. I can't. Can you post
Oh,
it
where I
to
posted.
Mr. Because I can't see it.
Yeah, I'll post it on Twitter. No problem. But yeah,
Good. So do we think possibly, could there be a Guardian sequel?
I
I
don't
think it
think
could
not
be.
I hope
now.
so.
I don't think it.
So I think it could be a sequel. As long as it gets the sales that it wants. Because if Avengers catches, I think you get an Avengers sequel.
Can we just leave? I would like Revengers to just slowly die off and go away. Um, and
I
just
think
keep
they should. I
making.
think they should have done it like they did the movies. They should have done Captain America game. You already did a Spider Man. You already doing a Wolverine, and you could have just brought it all into one big Avengers game. But Sony would have had to do all of that if that was the case. But still,
I honestly don't
Oh
think
yeah,
they
yeah, but here's the thing.
have.
Microsoft paid what? How many? How much did Microsoft pay to get this game on Game Pass?
they said 5 to 10 million, I believe.
Yeah,
That's not a ton of money.
It's not.
and I'm pretty sure they got some of that money.
I believe it's probably like a 5 to 10 million like
Yeah,
entry fee to put it on there, and
so
then you get paid per download of the game.
so it makes sense for them to find.
But
And it's
they're not talking about sales. They're talking about audience. There's a difference.
Yeah, 10 million is like the equivalent of like 160. Let's call it 170,000 copies. Like it's not crazy.
Significant, yeah.
I mean, I hope that gives who did this Square like at least the
So
incentive to be like, all right, we can probably
so
get another one.
yeah. So in the article it says, despite receiving highly positive reviews, it undershot publisher Square Enix sales expectations at launch, according to Square president Yosuke Matsuda. However, he also said in February that sales initiatives kicked off in late 2021 and resulted in growth, and the title has since attracted many more players after joining Game Pass in March, according to IDOS Montreal. For me, it's all about creating the game. What I love right now is that people, especially with Game Pass, are playing it and they're sharing the experience. We make games to touch people, we make games to hit an audience, and it's great that it's finding its audience, and it's great that it keeps going forward. So it's not really about sales. Like, these are developers that are excited that people are playing their game, that their hard work is being seen and played. It's not about Microsoft writing a check. This is from the developers, being excited that people are actually playing their game.
And I think based on a game that everyone agreed is a good game,
it's an amazing game.
just
Yeah,
at some point people just weren't playing it. Like
Yeah,
I don't think like it wasn't like the reviews were bad, it's not mixed or anything like that. It's like this is a really good game. Just nobody was playing it. And part of it is like the Avengers thing. And then,
and
from
it
a dev
showed poorly originally
yeah, and it
on
showed
its biggest
poorly.
stage.
And then like from the devs perspective, they're like Square said it didn't meet expectations. So we're like, well, but it says people saying the game is really good, so I don't really know. So now it's like they're just happy. It's like, listen, man, I'm glad people are recognizing what we already know. Like this game is excellent, and I'm glad so many more people are now able to experience it. Uh, because most people probably would have just let it go away. And it's fair. You don't gotta play every game. But I highly recommend Guardians to everyone. Like it's such a good game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
for
mean,
yeah,
sure.
I
I'm
recommend it.
just
It's an amazing game.
I am happy to see when creators are rewarded by people enjoying their creation. So I mean, I think it's pretty cool. And Xbox has bailed out a bunch of Square games lately, so
I
that's
mean,
a that's that is an interesting dynamic. But I do really love to see that these developers are happy that people are engaging with their hard work, their game. So
fingers
I thought
crossed
it
for
was something
Guardians
cool to
2.
bring up.
Fingers crossed for Guardians 2.
Oh yeah, I would play that day one. But let us switch characters now. Thank you very much. Cause
Uh,
yeah,
yeah, I mean, I guess it would be fun to play as the other characters.
yeah, especially if they all have fleshed out skills.
That I don't
When
know
you
if I particular want. I don't know if I want.
See, that's the thing when you make a game that is very linear like that. Um, it allows you to really flesh out those side characters as opposed to if you had to like essentially make every side character a main character. It makes it a lot more difficult sometimes because that side character only has to be the star for short periods of time versus, you know, longer spurts. So, that's why you have people that fall in love with these side characters so much because, they have these moments and the moments are more memorable sometimes than the main character who, is carrying the entire story.
And I think from a fleshed out perspective, at least, like the characters, I think were pretty well fleshed out. Like I think you got to understand who each of these people were. Um,
Yeah.
the
It's just
battle
more
wise, no, of
difficult.
course, like no, not like, and I mean, I guess I would like that, but I don't know. Something about it, just playing as Peter, was kind of at least unique in the sense that I
Yeah.
can't remember the last time I've done anything like that.
But the thing is, like, what they gave you as, you know, for like Rocket and Gamora and Groot and all those other characters, it's a lot more difficult when you have to play as that character to give you that same level of detail because you have to give more when you're playing from that character's perspective. It's not the same as when you're a side character.
I get what you mean. Um,
So
is there a there's got to be a game that like, because my thought process is like Star Lord's off doing something else. You can choose to like follow his path, or you choose to like. There's a point in the game where Rocket like goes off and does his
I
own
mean,
thing.
I
you
was
can.
literally
I mean, a
about to
game you
say
can lean
so.
to where they
Yeah.
kind of do that, but it's not like really like anything special. But like Spider Man, you go and play as like Mary Jane for a second
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like
something
that.
like that. Yeah. Whereas like it
Yeah,
doesn't necessarily, or I mean, at least like for Guardian, since like part of that, this whole thing was like choice. Like you
yeah,
can go, and that would then affect your choices based on like how you want to respond to them,
yeah.
based on what you see them went through. It's like, no, Rocket actually is suffering. I want to be more on
But
his side, or like Rocket's an asshole. Screw him.
can you imagine playing as you know who at the end? You know what I'm talking about. Uh, the one that you rescue and turns
Dude, the
into
game's been
some.
out for like 6 months. Ain't no such thing as spoilers now.
I'm not.
Just saying.
I'm not. I don't want to spoil it for you because you need to play it, right?
Yeah, I do need to play it.
That's why I'm not spoiling it for you because it's a spoiler. So, but Zero, you know what I'm talking about at the very end. The
Yeah,
character. Can
I
you
mean, he
imagine
is.
playing as that person? That would be interesting.
I mean, like he is a Guardian at one point, so sure, yeah. I mean, I guess there's no reason why you couldn't. The Guardians have a rotating crew of people, so I personally, I'd much prefer to play with Mantis.
With
um,
who?
Mantis, the other girl who follows them throughout the story.
Don't know. Oh, she's the guardian.
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
had no idea. See,
yeah.
I'm not inversed. She was interesting.
Well, to be fair, she's in the movies, so like if you've seen the movies, she's
I
there.
seen one. I never watched the movie, so I don't know
Yeah,
anything about Guardian. All
yeah,
I know is they are part of the Marvel, and that's it. And they help
yeah.
against the Thanos. That's it.
They're just this version of them is much truer. Well, and I don't know how much truer, but it's closer to their comic book versions than their movie versions.
Gotcha. Mantis was genuinely interesting. The way she shared information, it almost felt like she was saying stuff that happened in the comic.
Yeah, it's how comics Mantis like perceives
Yeah.
different
So
timelines.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That was very, 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 very interesting. I enjoy that to the point where I actually would love a spin-off of how actually turned out to be. Can you imagine if you get a second Guardian where if your choices are all wrong or something like that, you need to kill one of your Guardian members because either him or you.
Hmm.
It's certainly possible. I mean, I personally would like to see, just like the Nemesis system, like
Yeah,
this sort of
consequences.
narrative.
Yeah,
No, no, no. I don't mind. It's comic books. Comic books sort of always win at the end of the day. Um, so I don't push up against that, like, because they're comics. They're for kids. Um, but what I like how Guardians is designed, like the whole sort of linear story thing. It feels like the natural evolution to the Walking Dead games, the Sam and Max games, those Batman Arkham games, where they're story games, but like you have a little bit more to do than like in the Walking Dead, where you're just making sort of independent choices.
gotcha. Well, with that
Um,
be, Juba, you wanna say anything about it?
Um, yeah, touch on it. Just go play Guardian, Joe. It's really good.
With that being said, let's get into outro. Juba, where people can find you.
Yeah, you can find me at Jubei Sensei pretty much everywhere that's not Twitter. Jubei X Sensei on gaming platforms. Um, should be another review coming down the pipes in a couple of weeks. We'll see. Just gotta make some time, get some stuff done. But yeah,
Also,
I'll
check
catch you
out
guys
his
next week.
tunic review. Zero, where on Farah, where people can find you.
You can find me Twitch at Land of Pharaoh. Everywhere else, Pharaoh Bizarre. I think I'm gonna name everything Land of Pharaoh. I think that kind of is a little bit more catchy. But yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Pharaoh Bizarre as well. Yeah, link up, talk to me. Go.
Gotcha. People can find me at Karab underscore Chahab on Twitter and Gain Player every Saturday 5 p.m. is the standard time, and podcast called Gaming Anime Squad at Friday, also 5 p.m. is the standard time. With that being said, Zero, where people can find you and where people can find us.
well, guys, as always, it's been an absolute pleasure. You can find me, of course, at zero.exe pretty much everywhere. Still playing Elden Ring, now on Valkyria Chronicles. Hopefully, when I finish those two, I can get around to buying some new games that I just don't want to
Oh
buy
yeah,
yet.
well, I can give you a tip. After you finish Valkyria, play Valkyria 4. Apparently, it's what's called. It's after one, and it's amazing.
Well,
According according to Weeb.
if PlayStation Now was a better service and had all of the Valkyria Chronicles on there, I could do that.
Valkyria
Um,
Chronicles 2 and 3 are only on Vita. So there's that.
so it would be wonderful. Now, so hopefully, come June, both 2 and 3 will pop up on this service.
No, because apparently uh, this service doesn't contain Vita games, which sucks.
Then they've missed out an opportunity.
Yeah,
Um,
they're missed out an opportunity.
but of course, when you're not looking for me, you can find us because I'm usually around here. Vitamin G podcast on pretty much all major podcast and streaming platforms: YouTube, Apple Music, Google, YouTube Music. It's not Google anymore. Spotify. We are always there. Please, please, please listen to us. Give us likes, comments. Tell us how you feel about us. Uh, how you think about our style of dress, what type of food we like to eat, what do you think our favorite animals would be, like anything you would like to do, just let us know. But of course, always we tend to separate and do our own thing, so please support us individually, even if not here. Check out Jubei Sensei. Look at his tunic review. It is actually quite excellent. He's got the cool little like Doctor Strange opening in the front, like that's kind of neat. So please, support.
Yeah, that
Jump
thing
on
is fire.
yeah, jump on Pharaoh streams to watch him play some Madden. He really does play other games, but like personally, Madden is the most entertaining. Because I like seeing people win and other people lose, and the person I know who wins tends to win a lot. So that works for me. Um, Kofi. I do not know. I believe that the Zero no Kiseki scans are out and that you can download. I think he's already given away uh the prize for the winners. But if not, go to
Yeah, I
Kofi's
think he
page.
did.
Okay, yeah. If not, go to Kofi's page, support the translate him and the translation team. You all know Kofi and how excited he is to be doing this. And so he's always willing to let people know what's going on. Please check out Dante Crisis. On Wednesdays, I know he plays Elden Ring. I could have that wrong now, but I feel like pretty silently on Wednesdays he plays Elden Ring. I'm usually in that chat, so long as he's not in a place that like I've never been, but I'm kind of further than him, so we're good on that. Am I missing anybody? FC, he's in Seattle. I don't know. Say hi if you see him in person. I don't know. Uh, Otherwise, that's it, guys. As always, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for. Oh no, sorry, Omar. Game Slayer at 5 on Saturdays.
Yeah,
Okay, Game Slayer 5 on Saturdays, as well as sort of the anime podcast on 5 on Fridays.
yeah.
We'll be discussing mostly One Piece, but occasionally all things anime into the world. Which I imagine if anything big comes up, we will probably be discussing it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so once again, check those out. Check all of us out. But as always, guys, you literally could be doing anything else, but you decided to be listening to us, and we appreciate that. Thank you so much. See you next time.
Later. Wake up.
Apps. Hey, but before we go,
Yeah,
shouts to Amadeus Helsing, Nate Clinton, and Stanley Francois for holding it down in the chat. Um, Appreciate y'all
oh
stopping
yeah.
in and giving us a listen for sure.
And also people can find Dante at Dante Crisis. Something something. Later. Yeah, I forgot. I genuinely did, but I tried.
No worries. His Twitter is in the description for this video. So if you
There's
want to
that.
find his stuff, you can find all his links on his Twitter.
Yeah.
And